Welcome to News from Down Home. We're at September 14th, 1915, talking about what's happening in Princess Anne, Maryland, which was my hometown when I was a small child. My family had moved there in 1903. Obviously not my family, but my ancestors, my great grandfather, and we've been there. We had been there ever since. Now I was a small child. I at there in Princess Anne loved it. It was great to be a small child in, and moved away at 13, and just always think of it as my hometown. So in Marylander and Herald, which is the paper of record at that time, on September 14th, 1915, it talks about the Prohibition Party ticket for office, and I thought it was interesting. The prohibitionists wanted to abolish alcohol, which they got. They won. They won that agenda, and we had prohibition for a number of years, and we know how what a disaster that was. But the Prohibition Party of Somerset County met in convention. This is in the date is September 14th. So the party met in convention last Tuesday in Princess Anne. W.A. Long, the county chairman, called the convention to order at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the following ticket was nominated. Now, state senator was James B. Taws of Crisfield. House of Delegates was William S. McDaniel of Dublin, James Holland of Lower Fairmont, and my great grandfather, Frank W. Widdowson of Princess Anne. So obviously, my great grandfather didn't drink alcohol, and he didn't want other people drinking alcohol because they really believed that it was a moral failure for the country, and it was a lot of problems. People back in those days drank quite a lot of alcohol. Even more, I read that in the colonial era, that is estimated that people drank 3 to 4 times as much alcohol as the average person does in America today. You find that hard to believe, but that's what some of the authorities say. So I thought that was interesting from September 1915. Now, as I'm taking the walking tour around Princess Anne, um, and this is from the book A Walking Tour of Princess Anne, Maryland from Look Up America series. We come to Church Street and the Littleton Longhouse. Now, the Littleton Longhouse Littleton Long came from humble beginnings. He was indentured as a bootmaker for 7 years, beginning at the age of 14. But he married into money when he won the hand of Anne Costin. Her family disapproved, but the couple married in 1821 anyway, and were known around town as the runaway match. The Longs built the Greek Revival home, a frame house in 1829. He began his post marriage career as a merchant and then earned a law degree and entered state politics. Littleton and Anne raised 8 children, and one of their sons was credited as being the first Westerner to discover the source of the Nile River. So that's interesting. Let's dig into that a little deeper and see if that's a verifiable. So now the Maryland State government has additional information. They purchased that half acre from Littleton J. Dennis, Henry J. Dennis, and Robert J. Dennis in November of 1829 and built the house over the next few months. Um, and then they maintained ownership of the house and the lot for the next 47 years. Finally, the title was transferred to Ellen McMaster for $2,500 in 1876. Her 2 daughters, A. Louise Dewar and Ellen D. Fisher, along with her husbands, sold the property to Gulf Refining Company in 1927, and in turn, Gulf Refining divided the house from the unimproved yard and sold the house and lesser acreage to Ida L. Pusey 2 years later. So on the southern portion of the lot, Gulf erected a colonial revival style gasoline station. I don't remember it specifically if it was still there when I was a kid, but it probably was. It may still be there. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I hope you do too. And feel free to make comments, whatever you think about what I said. And also, if you know any of these people, thanks.